Hello, welcome back to another one of our streams. I am Dan with SHM Cardboard Kings. I am a store that sells singles, comics, manga, various collectibles. I do a lot of box opening, sorting, selling advice. I'm working on some selling videos, so that is normally what I do. Today is going to be mostly a sorting stream. Not my normal sorting where I like process bulk and put everything through to the store, which you can see up here at cardboardkings.shop, where you can, buy everything directly through my store. You get 5% off if you buy through me directly, or through my TCG store directly. There's a direct one for TCG Direct, a normal store for everything else. You get 5% off if you do it directly instead of through a search function, which works out well for everyone. So that's generally what I'm doing. I'm trying to push people towards the store, but also I've got thousands of sales. I've been doing this for less than a year now, but I've been through the gap program, the beginner program, so I've got a lot of sales experience. So I'm going to be doing some videos on ways to optimize your stores, ways to process. Last week we did a processing bulk episode. I like to do those. it helps me keep my sanity as I yap away and actually sort my cards for the store, and it shows other people my methodology, and it's always good to compare contrast with that kind of thing. Oops, I forgot my background music. Let me get that going. So that's ideally what I do, but the downside of constantly doing that is that my own collection kind of gets left in the dust, and I buy a lot, and I also stock what I call the vault. The vault being a bunch of cheap majestics, and by the nature of Flesh and Blood, treasures for another day. Cards typically don't cycle out, right? Sets don't cycle out of Flesh and Blood like they would in other trading card games. Heroes cycle out, and even then, sometimes new versions of the heroes show up. So it's not unheard of for a card that's worth 15-20 cents to be worth $5 to $10 2 years later, just because the correct hero hasn't shown up yet, or the right set. So I'm always building up a backlog. I pick them up, as many cards as I can cheap, and you're like, well, you're spending all this money, does it ever pay off? Yes, a lot. All my channel Mount Heroics channel steps, before Rosetta came out, I went back and looked. I've been buying them up for 15-20 cents, I think, all the way up. I even splurged and spent up to 50 cents on one of those cards, and turned around and sold them for $10 a pop. So if you're buying 100, 200 of those cards, as long as you sell one or two down the road, it's all profit. And obviously you're going to sell way more than that. So I'll talk about that a bit more tomorrow. A little bit of bookkeeping for that. I'll be joined by my friend Andrew. He's been nationals. He's a very competitive player, very into the meta, very into all the communities. ear to the ground, everything flesh and blood. I just do the collecting. I do collecting, selling, mostly collecting. I like to do the collecting. I sell it more because I enjoy the game as a whole more, even though it's less profitable than like Pokemon or Magic. But it's a beautiful game. I really enjoy it. I enjoy the lore. I enjoy everything about it, except for playing it, really. But even like the game design, mechanics, and everything is very well done. But Andrew is more onto the player side of things. A lot of spike energy, we'll call it. So we'll be talking tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. And just kind of going over the state of everything about Rosetta. So I won't go too far into much, but you know, we're gonna have her perspective as a player, seeing how the meta has been changing, and then my perspective more as a seller and a collector, and kind of like deeper into the lore, which, I mean, Rosetta is probably lore-wise my favorite set at this point. And it's, well, I won't go into it. No spoilers. That'll happen tomorrow. So make sure you tune in and watch that one if you want to go more into Rosetta and get some other perspectives on that. Now, before I go into these piles of cards I got over here that you can't quite see yet, what we have here are feet. No, not just any feet. Verdances. I didn't get to play around with the puzzle pieces too much during the unboxing when I did the 2 cases last week. Kind of ran out of time. It was a very long stream. 2 cases is a lot to open up, and so I didn't get to it too much. So today, before I get into anything else, I kind of want to see, I don't even know if I completed a puzzle. They're sorted by hero, and that's it. Nothing else has been done with it. And we're going to see. I'm going to start here with, of course, Verdance. We actually lucked out pretty well in the first case. I think there was 36 total puzzle pieces, and we got 16 pieces, no dupes in that first case, which is pretty unheard of. But obviously, as you can see, starting with the second case, we did start getting some duplications. So we're going to just kind of see where we ended up with that. I'm sort of waiting for some sales to finalize and the prices to settle a bit before I go in and get a couple more cases. But this set does have a lot of staying power, I believe. It's really revitalized a lot of some of the older heroes. The meta is definitely changing quite a bit. Oh, we got a full one. All of Verdance. Beautiful. I really didn't think we got all those. That's really cool. Wonderful card. All right. So yeah, I plan on, kind of like with some of the other sets, like Bright Lights, I bought a ton of. I did like 8 cases of that. And still hoping that Singularity sells. If you want a Singularity, the Marvel, the big hit for Bright Lights, it is available in my TCG store. Right now it's about 200 below the next highest price, so it's basically a steal is what I'm getting at. So you're gonna pop over there. That's a big investment, but it seems like Teklo players, more than any others, tend to spend pretty heavily on their cards. That's a duplicate. Let me see. I'll put the completed, and I'll put the completed over the spares. All right. Oh yeah, it is a full binder page. Oh man, I'm gonna have to get another binder for these. I wonder if they're gonna continue doing the puzzle pieces going forward, or if it was mostly just because this set in particular was so. Oh, there we go. It was just so hero centric. Look at that. Ooh, let me put his pants back on. Get this a little tightened up a bit here. I can take a nice little screenshot of this later too. But there he is, Florian. Definitely the e-boy of Rosetta, but such a great counterbalance to the Verdants on the Earth side of things. All right. Yeah, man, I am gonna have to get it. I didn't bring any binder pages down. I didn't even think about it. Okay, well, now let's rethink. I'll put completed puzzles. 1, 2, 3 over here. And then the spare parts, and we'll see as I continue other cases. I don't know how people are selling puzzle pieces. I mean, obviously, Verdant's Feet, Aurora Butt have been hitting the Facebook selling groups pretty high. They were going for about $10 before the set officially came out, and I haven't kept too much of a track on them since then. But I imagine they've probably dropped them a bit, but I can't wait to see. Huh. Am I up one? No. Am I? Let me see. Maybe? Maybe. Okay. Well, this one's a bit interesting. Let's see. That's a dupe. That's a dupe. That's a dupe. Oh. Wow. All right. So we did finish up Aurora. Now, the Volthaven side of lore didn't get quite as fleshed out, I don't think. Which is kind of surprising, especially with how much care and effort they put into the Candlehold side of things. Candlehold has this whole story. Again, I'll try not to get too spoilery for tomorrow, but quite a set. She's looking good. All right. Let's see. Let's see if we got all 4 though. Yeah, really not. The art for, I don't know if it is it Oscillo, probably Oscillo, right? Like oscilloscope. But I mean, in this art in particular, homie's giant. Like, I don't really understand the scale of him in this. Doop, doop, doop. Oh no. Yeah, there we go. Oh, so what I didn't notice, so in the lore video and the first reveals for him, all the way down here is a set of steps. and you could see tiny little people there. And it's not in this version. So it's not in the Marvel card. I wonder if that was the young version. These are the adult versions. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that. That interests me, because at that scale of little tiny humans down here, big boss boy up top. Unless it's just perspective, like he's supposed to be way closer and they're way in the distance, but he has a certain level of scale to him. So, very cool. Get the next binder set up for Rosetta. I haven't done too much keeping of the cards from this yet. I usually try and wait. I'm trying to move the cards, you know, as their values are probably well overinflated. They're starting to settle now. There's definitely a lot of settling now. And a lot of value going into other sets. Dust to Dawn is seeing a ton of money go into it. So is Tails. So can't wait to see where that ends up. But eventually I'll start picking out cards that I like. If I don't just buy them outright later down the road. Now, when it comes to collections, I like to keep some of the alpha versions of Welcome Wrath, Arcane, and Crucible. So whenever I get like bulk coming through, even though, you know, these aren't necessarily always in the best condition, I do usually pick them out. And I got a bunch of the first edition Crucible in one of the last bulk boxes I got. I almost didn't notice it. I almost started selling them. And typically what I'll do for these is I just sleeve them. Oop, those are not the right sleeves. Those are inner sleeves. I want big old penny sloppy sleeves. And they just live in a binder, and I go and look at them every once in a while. But I think I'm actually on my third binder of Crucible cards, because it was around when I started playing, so I've got just a whole bunch of them anyways from box openings. Probably should, so, you know, one of those things you kind of wish you would have held on to sealed instead, but that is what it is. What did I get? I did end up getting, actually, my very first box of Crucible. I got cold foil Breeze Rider boots, which I ended up getting graded at like I think that was one of my 10s that I got back. So probably worth a pretty penny if I were to ever sell it, but that one's definitely in my long-term storage collection. So, but I'll go more into what binders and stuff I use. I don't use like probably your standard player binders. I tend to go more towards archival binders. They're like a fully enclosed plastic binder. I really like them because on top of like your standard D rings, like you should be using, not like the big old circle rings which damage all your cards when it's closed up. And also, because it's fully enclosed, the bottoms of the pages are like fully supported, so you don't get the weird bending on the corners of the cards. So I went with that. I'll have to bring up the links whenever I want to do the fuller video on binders and storage and everything. I do tend to use a lot of archive level storage devices, so they're more expensive. Like the sleeves or the pages are definitely way more expensive. I only use like platinums. I do with these. I'm only a single sleeve. Foils out for long-term storage, a double sleeve. I wish there was some more interesting cards in here for these first ones, but But yeah, so I'll do a full video on that. I think my next video I want to do like an actual standalone YouTube video will be actually about shipping, because shipping is really blowing up right now. Getting your pricing and your controls in place for shipping is really the make or break for most of your sales. And I think where most people hemorrhage their money from, if you don't get that, or at least understand where that money is going, because that directly affects your minimum pricing for cards. So that's just something that has to come along. Oh, this is just an altar. Not the type of altar I thought. When I bought it, I was under the impression I got a couple of them. One as a gift, one for myself. Actually, I think I got two for myself. But the idea, I believe when I bought it from the guy off Facebook, it made it sound like he painted it. And I don't know, maybe he did the actual painting and then printed it on. But I really like the altars where like the artists actually do like the expanded painting. But always good to see new. All right, so these cards I've been stockpiling up over. Actually, there might be a couple Magic cards mixed in as well, just because I've been picking up some of those, either for my collections or if I was trying to fulfill some sales. But I've also got some foreign cards in here, actually. But I haven't actually looked through these. So what I've been doing is I use Card Trader a lot now. I hadn't always. The problem with Card Trader being, you know, when you're using the one cart product that they have, which is basically like TCG Direct but slow. So the prices actually end up being way lower, I find, than TCG Direct. But it can take months to get all of your cards. So if you're just collecting and you're thinking more long term, you're not thinking, you know, how can I, you know, you're not looking for quick flips, then it works out pretty well for you. Oops. Maybe over a little bit there. No, maybe. All right, screwed up on that side. It's like just too short. Just too short. Without having to get just closer. Okay. Ooh. Oh, stuck the whole thing out. But, so yeah, Card Trader is good for that, if you don't mind it taking a minute. So I've actually got 2 orders pending that I'm still waiting on, with about, I think, 300 cards. And I've got a whole bunch more from TCG Player. Actually, I've got like another 300 from TCG Player on en route, if they're not canceling them. But I just make piles, and then I just have like a little box of cards to sort, process eventually, and now we're here. We're at that point. So what I like to do is, let me see, do I have the, let me see if I can find the site I actually use. Don't have it up. Don't have it on these browsers. My stream browsers are a bit more sanitized than my personal ones. I'll have to look that up. But I use a collection app for my personal inventory. So what I'll do is I'm going to go through all of these cards, and I'm going to, if it's foil and it's going to be for long term, I usually do an inner sleeve and then a big sleeve. The double sleeving I care more about for curling than I do anything else. And if it's going into my more vault of cards, like ones that I may be trying to resell in the future, then it just gets a single sleeve. Then what I'll do is I'll sort them out by set, and then inventory them. They go into my big storage bins. I use the BCW plastic double lock 4-row storage containers. They're really nice. They're so sturdy. And then I just buy the extra separators and just kind of go from there. I can show you one of those. I've got one over there. I can show once I've gotten most of these processed. Singing Steel Blade. I love this. Actually, I'm pretty sure these are the unlimiteds. Unlimited, obviously, because of the circle there. But oh, these are actually from my box opening. These ones are from my box openings. Anything under 50 cents from any box openings I do. When it comes to Majestics under 50, cold foils under $1, they're just an instant into the vault. Cold foils, almost, I don't know. I've had terrible luck with cold foils ever coming back up in value. But I just kind of like them. I'm a sucker for a shiny card. If you've ever watched my box openings, the amount of time I spend showing off rainbow foils will let you know that. So, a lot of my collectability has more to do with cards I like more than potential value in them. I haven't quite gotten to the point, like when it comes to Magic. Oh my gosh, that's really gonna bother me. When it comes to Magic, I'm more... Nope, wrong way. Oh. Sorry, I'm trying to... When it comes to Magic and some of the older sets, I'm actually looking to complete them. A lot of times, well, because I go through so many collections of them, I actually just kind of end up accumulating 90-95% of a set, and then I'll just sometimes just buy out the rest of it. That's from the Crucible box opening. Okay. Now this is looking a little bendy. That's that TCG mint quality that some of those other sellers, not I, at my Cardboard Kings shop store. Yeah. This is just part of the shadier side of the site, unfortunately. They'll bend out a bit. Typically, oh wow, actually that one's kind of really bent, but ooh, it's got a nice foil effect to it. I'm pretty partial to Life of the Party. I've got, I think, 110 of these on, or no, 120 of these now en route to me. I would have to go look at the numbers on these again. I've got 3 giant binders of them. This is my silly collection. You know, I like Life of the Party is my Stone Rain. If you ever watch Stone Rain guy, he's got like thousands and thousands of them. Well, that's me, the life of the party. This was a promo card in particular that came out with Everfest, which is probably thematically still one of my favorite sets. Rosetta's going to give it a run for its money, but this is a fairly useless. Oh, come on. Really focus in there. It's a fairly worthless card. It works well with Crazy Brew. There's some shenanigans you can pull off with it. Unfortunately, the Fab community isn't... What the heck did I do with these? Okay. The Fab community isn't as much about fun decks as it is about competitive and winning. So, these cards will probably always stay on the sidelines. Not have much value. But if they ever do increase in value, boy, do I have, I think, probably close to, if not over, about 1,000 of them now. And when these came out, so promos like this was an Armory prize. Man, the autofocusing is just betraying me today. 11 of each color went to every store. And at that time, I think there was only about... I have it written down already. I think there's about 1,200 gem stores. In comparison to now, you know, that was Everfest, so that was about... Oh gosh, that would have been about 2002. So yeah, so 2 years... you know, the number of gem stores have increased. I think the last I checked at 24, so almost double. But from that, we can kind of extrapolate how many Lives of the Party are out in circulation. And I have, I think, almost 1.5% of all of them at this point. I'll show off that collection some other day. I've got stacks and stacks and stacks of them. I would probably a quarter of this is Life of the Party. I've got about 7-inch pile of them that still need to go into the binders. So we'll get there eventually. I do need to get more binders. I think I've only got, I think the 3-inch binders. Actually, this just made itself. Oh no. 3-inch binders, 3 of them about completely full. I don't want to get them too much fuller. Let's see what else. Got a nice rise up. Actually, I really enjoyed, I really wasn't paying too much attention around wait, what set was this? This would have been Uprising? No. Fae would have been Dragons, which would have been Dynasty. But the foiling on Rise Up is pretty. I'm a big fan of it. I'm also really big into the promos. I really thought the promos would go a bit harder. There are, I mean, if you play competitively and you're showing up to the events, you've probably got piles of them yourself. But for the casual player, there's really not that many. Like I said, 33 copies essentially of each card go out to each gem store. You know, there's 2,400 worldwide. So that's not even necessarily all English prints for those. So I don't know. I'm a fan. They're much more limited in number than you think. And oh, there we go. Oh, Red Hot. Red Hot's another gorgeous one. Yeah, so anyways, I collect the promos. I still have a feeling that maybe more long term, Depending how much staying power, I'm thinking it's going to be around for a while, even if the sales are kind of a little flat. Part of the Mist Veil did really well. I think Rosetta's going to do phenomenal. And I think as the game gains more popularity, I have a feeling it's going to grow more. So I'm hoping these old promos start to finally pick up some value. A lot of them just sit around that 20-cent range, and when you think like early Magic, it's not just the good ones, it's the rare ones. And I have a feeling some of these old promos, you know, give it 10, 15 years, will fall into those better price ranges. So I'll just keep filling up binders, binder after binder after binder. Yeah, I watch, you know, Living Legends a lot. I've got my own little spreadsheets of like, you know, once a hero hits Living Legend, of course everyone sells their deck. Oh yeah, I was picking up cold foil plumes, which honestly right now I've been selling a lot of plumes. Not cold foil ones, so normal ones. I gotta check what the prices on those now, but that might have been a good pickup. But I look at, you know, when a card hits Living Legends, I'm not sure how much longer it's going to stay that way, but when they hit it, a lot of people just completely sell their decks. Just because of the pricing of decks and, you know, a lot of the hits. Plus they also just want to use those cards in other decks, right? A lot of those generic staples. I guess we'll keep it there. But I think with Living Legend fleshing out a lot more now, I think it's going to start gaining more popularity, and people won't be as quick to get rid of everything. I actually really like Blessing of Aether too. Empress Scolding. Oh yeah, I remember when Gas Up. Oh, actually, I haven't even looked at these. Helios Miter. Got a couple of those. Man, am I hoping Ice really pops off. I've been noticing a huge spike in commons and rares, but not majestics for my Ice cards. So, that is so beautifully done. I really appreciate that one. Another Rise Up. But boy, have I stockpiled a ton of Ice cards. I've probably got, I think I just ordered another like 20 or 30 each of a bunch of them today. So we'll see. We'll see what that ends up doing. But I have a feeling they'll come back. They came back to Earth. They came back to Lightning. Or Ice. Ice is going to make us come back. I'm just seeing Polar Blast Blue, Ice Amulets, all selling. People just buy one Ice Amulet and they buy 3 Polar Blast Blue. Sometimes a blue Winter's Grasp. So someone's doing something. And I'm not sure how much of a trend it is overall. I haven't really looked too much at the actual TCG stats for them yet. Been pretty busy with other job, keeping on top of getting my store inventoried. I wish I had more time to look through the numbers like I used to do, but sorting is rewarding on its own. This is gonna be, that's just Rainbow Foil promo. I'm really looking forward to some of the Rainbow Foil promos from Rosetta, because I don't know, cold foiling just doesn't always work for every card. It works for a lot of them, but not all of them, and sometimes rainbow foiling just works better depending on the coloration of the card. Gosh, I'm not gonna remember the name of it, but there was one really cool piece of common equipment in Rosetta that I really want to see in a rainbow foil, and I think someone in chat last time said, oh yeah, you know, it's getting a promo, so probably as soon as that happens, I'll be buying them up. Add them to the vault. from the last card that really popped off, we haven't really talked about it, was the Flicker Wisp. Flicker Wisp was one I only had 13 of. I ended up keeping one. I put 12 up on the store. They haven't moved yet, but the pricing is still staying high. I'm not sure if it's just... Oh! Oh, look at that. You know what? Apparently... Speaking of cards that I bought that ended up skyrocketing, Poison the Well is popping off right now too. I didn't think I had any, and it's just because I hadn't processed this pile yet. You gotta get better about processing this pile. These are gonna go right up on the store, actually. Not all of them, just a couple of them. But how many do I have? Let's see. I wonder if it's just these two. Actually, they've already single sleeved. I'm gonna put those off to the side. $10 a pop. Yeah, see? I bet you I paid 20 cents for them. Well, worth it. Alright, what else did we get? United We Stand. I think I got a bunch of these. I'm not sure it's ever gonna do terribly well, but man, I really need to get a closer hand cam. Oh, you can see the dot from the camera. Let's see if I can block that. But anywho, I'm a Bravo boy, and I really enjoy all the heroes on that card. I think that's a really cool card. And all it takes to be real cool to get added to my collection. So, got that. I actually started stockpiling up on Silverwind Shurikens. Not sure that'll ever actually pan out. Spectral Procession did pan out. Those sold pretty well for a while. I don't know if they're still selling, but I don't think so. But I had a bunch of them, and well, they were selling for a couple bucks for a while. Let's see, what else do we got here? More single sleeve. Oh, this is so convenient when they're single sleeved like that. Let's see. Phantasmaclasm, Sonata Arcanix. Oh, I'm gonna have to double sleeve you. Got the 3 visits. Evo Magneto. Slay. Slay is an odd card, not because of it as a whole, but a lot of the inventory sites just never have Slay in it. And at least the TCG player, you can email catalog at TCG player. They'll add the card if you're ever missing one. But I don't know, what's it called? Like collectors? I don't know. Whatever I use, I cannot get them to add it. Alluring Instant. I didn't realize Dustodon had a Shiana spec card. That's kind of cool. Shiana needs some more love. Anthem of Spring. I almost initially, when I started my whole buy a whole bunch of spec out cards, or not spec out cards, whenever I would buy a bunch, I guess the spec technically, but I wouldn't buy actual spec cards like Briar spec. But I think with the way that heroes come out, they're still probably as viable. I don't know, we'll see. Beckoning Light. Call Down the Lightning. That's the Lexi spec. Man, these Dustodon printing is kind of blurry. Ooh, my ladies. Okay, we got some more shinies. We got to take care of the shinies. Oh, Poison the Well's up to 13. That's nice. Yeah, gosh, I hope I have more in there. I don't know. It'll be a surprise, I guess. Double sleeve in the ladies. So news-wise, very frustratingly, I don't know if anyone has looked at the TCG. TCG's made a bunch of changes to their return policies. They did updates on like buyer's remorse, wrong addresses, unauthorized returns, bulk lots, listings with pictures, things like that. Almost all very beneficial, probably overly beneficial to buyers, much to, I think, probably most people's frustration on the selling side. A lot of probably the most frustrating change they made from a seller perspective is not requiring evidence anymore. You can't ask a buyer to prove anything. So or at least I can't initiate. Let's say, so I had a problem. So I opened up that Bright Lights box. I got a heist out of it. I sold it off almost immediately. Wish I would have held on to it for a week because it's doubled since I sold it. But the kid or the guy who bought it was like, "Hey man," he's like, "this is a real dinged up card." He's like, "There's dents in it," and I'm like, "Wow, that's crazy," because I like opened it up on stream. I like straight from the box right into the sleeve. He's like, "Well, I can send you pictures," and I'm like, "Perfect, send me all your pictures." And he's like, "You really want the pictures?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I want the pictures." Now he can offer to send me pictures. I cannot ask for the pictures. So what happened is with this heist, he's like, "Oh well," as soon as I asked for it, said, "Yeah, I confirmed I would like to see the pictures." He's like, "You know what? I think I'll just hang on to it. You know, everything is actually okay. I'll just play with this. Don't worry about it." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's funny how that works." Cut to the Chase is another phenomenal looking card. Wow, autofocus, you're really doing me dirty today. But their blood splatter game with the foiling is cool. I really like, not all. I really don't understand how they determine which cards get full art foiling or like through the extended art foiling, but I appreciate it. I got a couple of those. Another more Blessing or Aether, Angelic Wraths. Up in that promo game. So, anyways, shipping is a real downside. Now, the one thing, as a seller, if you're a seller person, that actually no, that you probably need to be more careful about if you're a garbage human being is you can't. So that they specifically put in the wording of it that you aren't allowed to just cancel an order because the price has changed. That's something that happens pretty frequently, or sometimes with bigger orders, it's hard to see. Oh no, that's damaged. What is that? Maybe it's not damaged. It's stained. There's gunk all over this card. Okay, maybe oh no. Oh gosh, there's a bunch of crap all over this card. Huh, I'll have to look and see what I can even do to take that off. Alright, buyer's remorse. It's not uncommon as someone who buys a bunch of cards. I fulfill orders. This morning I mailed out an order of 140 cards, all of them about 8 cents a piece. You're not exactly printing money with it, but you're actually, if you calculate it out, doing about as good as if you would have sold them all individually. So, in my eyes, it's better to just move those cards in a big lot. And yeah, you're going to pay probably $4 to ship it on your like $10 or $12 order. But, after the fees, you're only going to make like $6, $6-7. Doesn't feel great. But when you look at, like, if you would have sold those individually, you have to sell them in a minimum of at least 3 to even turn a profit. I think long term, it's a net benefit. But a lot of sellers will just straight up cancel any orders over $60. Now, are they allowed to do that? Absolutely not. And especially now. And I think when they redid the return rules, they really emphasized that. But we'll see if they actually do anything about it. So I've got a guy who kind of like who sold I think it was about like 60 cards from him yesterday for about $12. Ooh, shitty Christmas present. He just canceled it, and he's like, well, I'm missing a card. I'm just gonna cancel the whole order and refund it. I'm like, bro, you can't just do that. I'm like, why don't you just send me the rest of the cards that you do have? And he's like, well, you can rebuy it from my store. And yeah, all those 10, 15-cent cards are gone. He just never bothered relisting it. So I'm just gonna work with support. And we'll see how that buyer's mark policy works. So that does work both ways. Now, I think realistically why they did it is I'll get messages. I mean, sometimes within like 30 minutes. And part of this is they did extend the window for. Oops, I need that. They extended the window of time when you can like easily cancel it. I wish you would do it automatically instead of I have to do everything about it. But sometimes a person's just like, oops, I accidentally ordered extra, or I didn't realize this was in my cart and I bought something else, or just dumb things. Usually they're for orders of like 16 cents. So I mean, as much as I'd love to make that 1 penny in profit, I'm usually more than happy to refund that. But the problem that most people don't realize, and something you can weaponize against people who are more sellers that are more predatory and will cancel because of buyer's remorse, or if they would have seen this sold at highest for 10 and it went up to 20 the next day, a lot of sellers will just cancel that order and be like, oops, we're just out of stock, and then they'll just relist it at the higher price, right? That's where that buyer's remorse protection should come in and protect you. How it's going to be implemented, no one really knows yet, but we'll see. But so what you can do with situations like that is sellers are only given a limited number of refunds. I only just hit my refund limit of 7 on my main direct account now. And then you have to go to sales, be like, listen, can you up my number? And they're like, oh yeah, usually they're more than happy, because what they're going to do is they're going to look at the number of sales you have, your reviews. They have like a little calculation that they do to figure out, that's just a damaged card sleeve. They're going to see, okay, well, it's such a small percent. Sure, you can get some more. But I think with these buyer remorses, if there's some negative feedback about the cancellations and stuff, you can really stick it to a store that's trying to stick it to you. So we'll see how that works out. What is this sleeve? This is just a broken sleeve. Is that Sistine? No. Is that a Pokemon? Is that a Pokemon on a horse? I don't know. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? Hemorrhage Boar. Ooh, the Bantam Banshee. Another extended art promo. It's okay. Fucking more shitty Christmas presents. Phantoms, shitty Christmas presents. Okay. So, if all of the shipping updates and the return policies and stuff didn't mess with sellers enough, I think everyone's pretty familiar. Everyone as a whole, I think, is probably pretty familiar with the postage rate increases this year. Postage rate increases have been pretty crazy since like 2019. I think it's gone up gosh, it's been about like what's it, 36%. So it used to be 50 cents back in 2019. It was at 68 cents earlier, just like a month and a half ago, and then it went up to 73 cents. And now the post office is like, well, that's cool. We're going to raise prices again. So I think we're probably going to go up another couple cents here in, let's see, when did they say? July 2025. And then not only are they going up in July 2025, but each January and July of 2026 and 2027, they've got more price increases. So we're going to have 5 price increases to stamps over the course of the next couple years. So realistically, stamps are probably going to hit $1 by 2027, which is kind of crazy to think about. A lot of that has to do with, the post office used to be more government funded. Now they're more self-sufficient, or that's kind of the requirement as funding gets pulled from them. So the prices of postage go up and everything. What is Calorex? I don't know. But usually, it's not just stamps that go up. All the flat rate prices go up at the same time, which is not as often talked about, but that was very noticeable, especially for people like me who sell or who buy a lot of bulk orders, and that's usually sent by flat rate boxes. Despite the fact, I'm going to keep preaching this, flat rate boxes aren't cheaper than just measuring a box, weighing it properly, and sending it. You'll actually save $4 to $5 over a flat rate box when it comes to cards and the weight. So talk to your buyers. Usually you can negotiate like even a business rate on top of that and save even more money. But anyways, I think we're going to see shipping increases across the board go up, which will be very frustrating. Those are pretty wings. We're seeing a lot of Spectral Shield cards, Angel cards selling. Yeah, I really like this. I like the color. I kind of think it just kind of like makes everything pop. And I guess with the number of angels I've been dealing with here, pretty thematic. So postage going up is going to be more noticeable. Well, if even if you don't buy stamps, right, you're not selling it, but every postage increase increases the minimum cost that TCG player marks. So right now, so it used to be $1.22 when the stamps went up 5 cents. The minimum went up 1.27, and that's just kind of set like a low bar and like keep kind of everything on the same page. I don't know if they necessarily need to do that. I think anyone who sells, if you sell cards, or if you have your shipping set to $1.27, and you buy your products in bulk, like when I buy envelopes, I go 1,000 at a time. When I'm buying my cardboard inserts, I think the max I can buy is 1,800 at a time. But I'm buying everything in as bulk as I can through business accounts, and I can tell you that even at $1.27 shipping, I'm not making a single penny until I sell 15 cents of cards in an order. So, do they need to have that minimum? Probably not, but that's how it works. And so I'm thinking everyone's going to see come next July that minimum's going to go up again. So, you know, be prepared for that. Oh man, I really stocked up on Sting of Sorcery, really thinking that more of the Rune Blades would use it, but no one has cared at all. Ooh, what's else in here? Oh, I got another life of the party. Oh, a damaged life of the party. That's no good. Oh wow, they really screwed that up. I probably should look at these more so I can complain. I don't know. I'm not one to complain to sellers usually, unless they totally screw me over, like canceling my order. But you know, where your protection as a buyer comes in. Now I want to use the word protection roll lightly, and I'm not sure everyone quite understands how much power they have as a buyer, but without the burden of proof. Like, you don't have to prove that you have a lower quality card, but if you're, say, you know, like, hey, I bought a near mint card, but it came in at, like, moderate played, they can't ask for the seller can't ask for the picture, and then you have a couple options. Either the seller can send you another card at the correct quality, or you can request a refund for the difference between the quality you're supposed to get and the quality you did get. Or the seller can just be like, I'm going to send you another envelope, you mail that back to me. Now, depending on how much you spent on that card and how much of an effort it is for the seller, they've really set that up for buyers to scam sellers. I haven't seen anything about it yet, outside of the guy with the heist. I think he was if it was $10, I probably would have. Well, I was just going to refund it. That was like my whole goal before he said, "Yeah, don't worry about it." But now, with the new return policies, I probably would have I probably would have just sent him an envelope, told him to mail it back. And I think, and that's your option 3. And probably as a seller, your best bet most of the time. Now, wait, which side is it? Oh man, what is it even looking at over there? What? Huh. Oh, I'm just an idiot. That's on the table. Okay. Anyways, okay. So the other cool thing about Card Trader is that because Card Trader is actually based out of Italy, when you turn in cards, you send them to the U.S. or like a centralized place. I think now they have a second warehouse in Canada for the North America sales. But if you're in Europe and you buy through Card Trader, everything goes to Italy first. So you're just buying the card. All of your cards from all these stores across the world centralized into a warehouse. And they hold on to your cards for, months, or I don't know if there's an upper limit to how long they hold on to them. But you've paid for them at this point, but you haven't paid for shipping yet. And then, once all your cards show up, you pay one lump price for shipping, and then they send them all to you. So you actually save a decent amount of money. But because they are an Italian company and they are largely based out of Europe, you can buy all the foreign cards. Now, this is I think Chain Lightning This is from History Pack 1, as you can tell down there. But you can also see the majestic symbol is different. Now, I've only noticed this on the History Pack 1 cards that with the black border, History Pack black border, HPBB, I think is what they're more commonly referred to online. Because if you see here, History Pack 1 white border, it's got a normal one. It's also in English, but I just hadn't, when I was looking through everything, I realized I hadn't bought any History Pack cards yet. I also didn't have any of, I think, this one, vous pouvez, je revote, prochain, it's French, right? Yeah, si vous avez, yeah. Okay. So I didn't have any French cards, I didn't have any Japanese cards yet. I still have to pick up some Japanese, but I thought it'd be cool, just to add to the collection. Nothing valuable, but cheap and cool to have. I'm not a big fan of the white borders. I don't think they'll keep doing them. I think History Pack 2 white border was probably the last time I'll see them. But we got them now, so we might as well look at them. Alright, so I guess you'll go there. Foreign cards I should probably put in a different pile. And I think unlike Magic or Pokemon, where foreign cards are just worth absolutely nothing, pure garbage pricing, they're not too far off in the US. I mean, there's not like a giant market for them, but they're not that much difference in pricing. Like it's maybe like 10-20% cheaper from what I've seen, but I don't need the side for that. This is another beautiful card in foil. I don't know if I have any here in foil. I got some, I think, in the binders. Alright, let's see what else we got. Wow, man. Really should have. Oh, and you can see the if you see these like marks, it's from a card trader purchase. Two more rise ups. Actually, what I'm gonna do, I think I'm just gonna let's pull a bunch out. In case more with my my ice buying binge. Actually, I really like this. This is another one of those HPBBs. I got Crazy Brews. I enjoy the Crazy Brews. I really need to get that cool promo. Actually, like the extended art promo has been on my wish list for quite a while. But it goes pretty hand in hand with my ladies here. So I got the French ones. Liquid Cool Mayhem. I always just think is a cool looking card. I really don't know how it fits in thematically with bright lights, but it's really reminds me more of like Matrix. But it's an Evo upgrade. Anyways, pretty cool. These are largely sitting around that 15 to 20 cent range. So whenever I see that, buy them up. Actually, I think I bought another 20 of those today. I'll double check that. Break Dawn's another pretty card. Yeah, that extended art. Normally, I haven't been as big of a fan of the full art, like full back. I like when they do the more selective. But I actually think with this, the selective not foiling of our two characters there in the middle actually does this card a ton of justice. Yeah, I got 3 of those. Tomb of Duplicity. I can't remember this. I can't remember if Tomb is one of our banned books. They've been on a real book banning spree, but lots of Tombs of Duplicities. I don't know, we'll see. Glad my Tomb of Imperial Flames didn't go down. I sold, I got 2 foil of those with my duplicated boxes in my bright light case. Territorial Domain. Not sure this is going to get much love. Relying on the... Well, I don't know. We'll see. With the Crouching Tiger, I moved Zen's out. They changed a lot of his play style with the bans. I don't know if Territorial Domain will ever see love, but this is definitely one of those cards I've got like 30 plus of. Another Ice Storm. Let's see. Oh yeah, Regicide. I remember picking up a bunch of Regicides. Arachne. Arachne's a cool concept for a character. Oh man, real bendy. There's been a lot of talk about like ways to get the curl out of your cards, like with dehumidifiers. There's the electric things you put into scar boxes, or or actually just I would buy the humidor silicate packets. Like I tried to put these into an airtight packet with those. Nothing ever really did the trick. I've always been pretty disappointed with how that's all turned out every time. So I'm not too optimistic. At this point, I do just give it a little bend. And that tends to fix the problem most of the time. Alpha Rampage is always a real nice looking card. I believe the art for Alpha Rampage was also part of the promotional art for which set was it? I think it was Welcome to Wrath. There's if you go on to the Flesh and Blood website, they do have a lot of free promotional art that you can use for marketing, things like that. Printable posters for your windows if you are a brick and mortar store, or even if you just want them in your room and you've got a big old printer. But the Alpha Rampage is really cool. Let's see, you did get a bunch of Hungering Demigons. Yeah, a bunch of them. No, not the Flula Ruis. Oh man, more HPBB. Let's see, how did I get? I got 3 of them. Oh yeah. French Bravo. What is that? Well, sketch plans. Is that Italian? I think that's Italian. That looks Italian. Maybe that's Italian too. I wish it would say. Magic's really good about putting the language at the bottom of their cards. I guess I'll live over there for now. I think that's German. That's a German card. More of that. Well, not actually Crazy Brew, but that's Crazy Brew. What is that? Ah, man, I'm really awful with the names. Let's see, what else do we get? Northern Winds. Oldham spec card. Probably will never see another light of day. Do you love the Ice Eternal promos? Oh wow, I got a bunch of Ice Eternal promos. 3, 6, so I think I'm up to 7 of those. Ice Storm. Oh, it's a blood barrier. I think that's French. More Liquid Cool Mayhem. Oh, a ton of more Liquid Mayhem. More Life of the Parties. Let's see. All Life of the Party. I actually thought more of these would be Life of the Party than I actually ended up getting. I did, like my current card trader order that I'm waiting for. I think the next one that comes in has, I think in itself has 109 Life of the Party promos. Which, you know, normally I'm just buying bulk, which you can take a look at my store right up there at cardboardkings.shop. I do buy all bulk. I have a form you can fill out, and it'll give you like an estimate, or I can give you a much better estimate. You can reach out to my email, and I will buy your bulk off of you. Christmas time is coming up. Black Friday is coming up. Cyber Monday is coming up. If you need some cash, you need to clean out your closet. You need the wife to be happy with you again. I gotta tell you, I think the last 3 boxes of Flesh and Blood bulk I bought was from a guy whose wife was giving him flack for the entire closet being filled with bulk cards. She wanted to put her clothes in it. If you want a happy wife, sell me your bulk. That's Alright, let's see what we got in here. I think this is just the magic cards. I'm probably going to hold off on doing too much with these at this point. Nothing too... Oh, just kidding. Okay, I remember buying these. More into the looks cool realm. These are the full art lands from Loomborough. I really liked it. I really like the set of Loomborough. Design wise, I grew up with a lot of Redwall, so having that basically be a set is really cool to me. What else was in there? Okay. Magic off to the side. Free top loaders. Gotta love that. This is kind of, actually not exactly. I really don't like these tear ones. Shipping Shield does a much better cardboard protector than this. I know, I guess you're supposed to rip that, but that makes them one-time use, and I don't like that. The Shipping Shields are very multi-use. I will recycle. Oh, my recycle bin's currently covered. I will get it recycled. I'm all sticky. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. Let's see, what else we got here? It's actually one of the reasons I don't do branded shipping shields on mine. I like when I receive shipping shields of my orders that I don't have to. Holy crap! How did I get 3 Elementisters? I'll take it. I don't think I was supposed to get 3. I'm actually pretty positive I was only supposed to get 1, but oh well. Shoot, what was I getting? Oh, anyways, yeah, I like being able to repurpose my shipping shields, and I feel that if I brand them, put my logo or store and stuff all over it, then other people can't just use it and recycle it and reuse it. So I don't tend to do that. At least not yet. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I change my mind. Maybe this will be cleft in shoved down my throat down in the near future, but for now, I do like the ability to reuse, which is why there used to be some sellers who would sell me or ship every individual card in a top loader, and it was almost cheaper to just buy large orders of like penny and nickel and dime cards from them, and then just get like a giant stack of top loaders, than to just buy the top loaders themselves. Don't know how they made any money. That's one of those things I always try to harp on, you know, get your shipping under control. Because like I said, at the lowest price, there's no way you're making any money at all. So if you go above that, if you put a top loader on every card, if you put a sleeve on every card, that is all adding up to money you are not making. Ooh, come on. Alright. Oh, more magic cards. I really don't know why I bought... I cannot remember why I bought all these harmonizes. Probably just going to end up listing them. Probably tonight. If you want to harmonize, these will be available on my direct store. Probably tonight. Ooh, Blood Tithe Harvester. Ooh, another El Minister. Man, Burly Breakers. Ooh, that is definitely a lightly played, if not moderately played, Burly Breaker. That would have been a return. Oh well. Should have opened them earlier. You only have 30 days to dispute on TCG Player before it's just tough luck. Oh, Knives Out is another card that I was kind of specking pretty hard on. Still kind of specking hard on it. I still pick them up whenever I can. I think for Knives Out I'm up to like 50. But the Daggers will show up one of these days. More of the ladies. Oh yeah, lots of ladies. Lots of... Oh man, look at that. Yeah, see, I should have double sleeved these way earlier. This is not going to be pretty. Gotta get them in their double sleeves, get them a little bendy. These all ladies? Yeah. Life of the party. Life of the party. And if anyone has any questions, you know, I've got people all over the place, people on the Twitch side, Kick side, YouTube. If you have any questions about selling, shipping, any of the cards you see here, why Life of the Party is the best investment you can have, or if you want to get rid of your Life of the Party promos, you can email me and sell them to me. I will buy them directly from you. Feel free to hit up chat. Wow, a lot of Life of the Parties. Okay. See, I thought about a third of these are gonna be Life of the Party, and now here they're all showing up now. Slowly but surely, I will own 2% of all Life of the Parties promos. A lot of Life of the Parties. Yeah, maybe next sort stream I'll bring down all of my binders full of Life of the Parties. If I can even get them all into the binders. I gotta see if I even have any more of the big 3 inches. I can't even put these in the archival. Like, the archival binders are only up to 1.5 inches. So I use those more for like my full completes or my rare cards, like the Crucible first, my Welcome to Wrath first, Arcane Rising first. All of my reserve list cards live in those binders. More foil swell tidings. I don't know why the foil swell tidings were so cheap at the time. I don't think they're still super cheap, but I also don't think they're worth it at this point. But still a big fan. I really like the way that they do a lot of their rune work with the foiling. This one's maybe not the best example of it, but it still looks pretty cool. Let's see. What else do you got? Oh, double. I got double. Oh, well. I can't remember. Are these all promos? Yeah. Okay, these are all promos. These are all Majestics. All ladies. Got it. Okay. More life of the party. And if you enjoy just listening to me up, if you want to learn more about cards, if you want to learn about more events as they happen, I'm trying to get better at keeping my well, I don't really have a set schedule yet for streams. I'm working on trying to figure out a way to be more consistent with that. I think unfortunately for that to happen, that involves more sort and yap, but I do want to get some more box openings going. Just sort of waiting for a bunch of cards to liquidate down again. And we should have another couple cases. Rosetta coming up. But if you want to keep on top of that, if you want to hear when the gorillas are going to happen, if you follow my Twitter, my Instagram, or my Facebook, they will all be alerted ahead of time, at least a couple hours usually beforehand. Usually that afternoon I'll decide, or I'll look at my evening schedule and see if I can squeeze in a stream. I love the streaming more, keeps me more sane, I think. Runic Reclamations. I think these came from my Living Legend spreadsheets. I think. Yeah. Alright, what are my last... Oh, here's a shipping shield. This is what I was talking about. I love these guys. I'm hoping, hopefully I get enough engagement, enough views. That's why I want to start doing more videos. They do sponsor you. You can get affiliate links and stuff through them. I'm a really big fan of the shipping shields. They're like my favorite things to ship from. Wow, this is really sticky painter's tape. Normally this painter's tape doesn't rip it up too much, but I very reusable, I will say. So I'm a big fan of them. I like to give my buyers the ability to reuse them as well. I just kind of stockpile them up. Reuse those, reuse top loaders though. Not this top loader. Whoever did this really made a mess of everything. Is that... I don't even know what that's a sticker of. They used a really strange sticker for this, and boy did it ruin everything. Too sticky to reuse, unfortunately. I wish that, I don't know, if there's a good way to get all the gunk off of top loaders to reuse them more easily. I'll actually probably go through this pile again after. Anything with the stickers I can't really reuse, but I'll reuse a lot of like the penny sleeves. As long as they're not gross or too extended. This one's very distended. Very loosey-goosey. Kind of dirty, don't want to reuse that. But that can go in. Around here, we can recycle loose plastic like that. The churches and schools will all collect that. So I'm always happy to recycle when I can. It's the Eagle Scout in me, I guess. But all right, so I guess let's just work through the line here. I'm just gonna single bag my foreign cards. Maybe do this pretty quick. I really didn't plan on this being too long of a stream. I think we're 90 minutes in. Probably take me another 45 minutes, which actually is way longer than I thought. I really thought I'd be able to cap this off at like 2 hours. Don't think I quite understood the amount of cards I had here. And then off stream, I'll put this all in my inventory. Really wish I had more poison in the wells. I can't believe I only bought 2, but $13 a pop. Can't be mad with any of them at this point. So you can look at my store probably pretty shortly after this comes out, or the stream ends, and you'll see those and be able to buy them. and potentially, you know, as the unboxings get more popular, I'm hoping once I get more followers, if I can, probably once I hit like the 50 follower mark, my plan is to start doing a couple giveaways with those boxes. I know it's pretty popular. I know Wubby does it. Some of the other people who box open will set aside a pack, you know, roll who's watching, and then send that out to them. So I am looking to start doing that as well. So if you want to see that, help the channel grow, you know, share the links, share the socials. You know, every extra person helps. And as we grow, you know, you can benefit as well. Oh, which direction are these? Soup. All right. Other way. Okay, let's rotate. Man, I don't know if I brought enough. Maybe I did. I like the, I've been getting these side loader inner sleeves, actually from BCW, now that they've got them back in stock. The BCW stuff is usually my favorite to get. They also do affiliate links. Hit me up, BCW. But their inner sleeves, I think, are the cheapest I can find. And they're usually pretty high quality. I think I had that one bad one earlier, but I buy boxes of, I know, 1,000 at a time. So I usually buy, like, when it comes to sleeves, I'll usually buy about 5,000 inner sleeves at a time, and then I buy my normal penny sleeves, which aren't even a penny. You can usually find them on these ProSafe ones. Those are usually what I use. I buy them 10,000 at a time, and I've gone through several boxes of those, just because I oversleeve. That's a whole other thing, but yeah, just off eBay, you can get those ProSafes. I think I'm definitely very overprotective with my longer term holds, mostly because of Pokemon. You know, when the Pokemon craze was happening, I was like looking through all of I was looking for my old Pokemon cards, and they were just in a duffel bag. They must have been rubber banded together, and my whole collection is pretty much, oh wow, I ripped that in half. My whole collection was pretty much shadowless and like first edition. I have them all up in binders now, though the conditioning on those cards is not good. But there's a couple money cards in there, nothing too crazy. I actually gave away most of my rares of that time to a little kid who lived down the street. Another big regret in my life. But you know, when I saw the condition of those Pokemon cards, like, you know what, I gotta step it up a little bit here. So now I'm kind of overboard, but honestly, I'd rather be overprotective. It's really only bit me with cards that I've sold because the weight of double sleeving a lot of cards actually increases shipping incredibly. Foils will at least have one sleeve. I won't double sleeve them when I'm shipping them, and that shaves off, you know, ounces depending on the order. Unless it's like the bigger money cards, I'll still double sleeve like the legendaries and some of the pricier majestics. Pretty much if it's over $5, it's still gonna get double sleeve, and I'll just eat the cost at shipping, just to ensure that, you know, it's not curled, it's not damaged when you get it. But like these like 20-cent cards, yeah, it's getting one copy. And it really bit me with Direct, Magic Direct, or not Magic, sorry, TCG Direct. They don't let you sleeve cards, have any sleeves on cards, unless it's over $10. That way they can process them quicker. So I didn't know about that because it took me almost like 4 months to get into direct from when I first started selling. Instruction. We looking okay. So previously, like as I was inventorying all my foils and everything, because I did a lot of magic breaks before, or box openings for direct, and I double foil. I double did every one of my foils, and I had to undouble every single foil that I sold, and I just ended up with a massive pile of sleeves. I couldn't even send cards in. I ended up reusing most all of them, but it was not as convenient as having a nice organized stack like this, where I could just very quickly sleeve cards as they were heading out. So that's kind of where I'm going to end up with this. The sleeves I pull out of these orders. But, you know, reuse, recycle. As long as it's not going to damage the cards. Like no dirty sleeves, no scuffed up sleeves, or no stained sleeves. But, you know, everything else, if it's in good condition, go ahead and reuse it. Alright, so this is my first sleeve is done on the promos. Most promos. Man, look at that stack of ladies. These are, oh gosh, that's got to be about 60, I would say. Yeah, I would say it's about 60. It looks like a magic deck's worth unsleeved. I'll have to double sleeve all those. Oh, that one's damaged. I don't know if you can even see. I wish it would pick up better. But, yep, that's all ladies. Real windy out. We've been getting crazy storms here all week. Today was the first day it didn't rain torrentially all day, but the wind is still going pretty good. Temperature's been dropping real low. I actually had to use a blanket last night. But I can hear. Oh, you probably can't hear through the noise gate. I've got a noise gate on my Go XLR, and then again on my boom mic through the program. But I can hear my wind chimes all the way up here on the second story. Those are out on the front porch, and when it really goes windy, it's a very noisy chimes. I really got to figure out a way to get the sound to play through to me. Problem, one of the things I really need to get is I need to be able to hear what's going on. Like I can't hear. You guys get background music. I don't get background music. That's mostly because, despite being a very expensive and very fancy motherboard, it doesn't have a line in. Line-ins are required from the Go XLR for you to hear what's actually coming out of the broadcast mix, which is disappointing. There's like little hacks you can do. You can set it up to like hear what I'm recording through the mic, and then you just like turn down the settings. But mine, for whatever reason, keeps getting a knock in it. And that knock actually impacts all my other mics. So that didn't end up working out for me, but I'm still looking into it. I might just end up getting a streaming computer, like a separate one from my main computer. And then down the road I can actually do some gaming streams maybe. Probably not on this channel. I might make another channel, do more variety on it. This channel is mostly just to drive traffic. I usually get some pretty good web traffic after a stream. These yapping and certain ones not as much. Box openings are always a banger. People love a box opening. Anyone loves a box opening. You don't even have to know the game to enjoy a good box opening. But I got to do a bunch of EV calculations before I invest in some more boxes. The pull rates on Rosetta, I don't want to go too far into it today, but they're still not really known. They're very clearly very different than all previous sets. Probably, I mean, not as much on like the Majestic down level, but the extended arts, the expansion slot is way different than any other prior set. And those all very drastically affect what the EV is going to be. So that's something I got to figure out eventually. Waiting for a bunch of more information to come, especially like with part the Mistveil. Luckily, there were a bunch of people who would list their pull rates for big openings. Like there was a guy who did 40 cases, listed all his pull rates, and then I just combined that with a few other people's numbers to get like a good estimate, and that worked out really well. And then I actually was able to kind of extrapolate backwards a bit from part of the Mistveil to previous sets that had similar feeling pull rates, and it's extrapolated well. But I don't think I can use those same numbers with this set, just because of how many differences there are. The expansion slot is way different. The value in the cards residing in some of the Marvels. Well, maybe I'll have to look at that, because I think the Majestic Marvels. I don't know. We'll see what their pull rates are compared to part of the Mistveil. They might be about the same. But they also did the extended art heroes, which base out of a different rarity, which affects like the Marvel pull rates. There's a lot of mathing that's gonna have to happen. I enjoy a good spreadsheet though. All right, we're almost done with these promos. Gotta love the promos. Oh, actually, these should be stacked. These are all the... Alright, so the foreign cards are done. The cold foils are done. I only got a couple cold foils. Evo Buzzhive and Plume of Evergrowth. Big pile of different languages. We got some Italian, some French, some German. Everything in there. Alright, so these will be real quick. These are just the standard Majestics. Oh, that one's already... Oh, so it's that one. Those are inner sleeves, but I don't care too much about these ones. Though, I mean, they're kind of a pain when you're selling them to take them out, but protection-wise, we're still in a good position. Okay, which way am I going? Okay, up. Oh yeah, I did have some foils mixed in here. No questions. I just need tunes. I need tunes myself. Very, very ADHD. You may not have noticed from the stream. Oh, there's all my promos. Okay. But I can app. I can sort. I usually have to be doing a bunch of stuff at the same time. Normally, I get off my day job, make some dinner. My living room is basically a big card sorting room at this point. And I just sit, watch streams all day, sort cards, list cards, sell cards. Then end of the night before bed, I'm watching more streams. I got like the guinea pig / library / guest bedroom. Ugh, less of a guest bedroom at this point. So it's basically my shipping room. But sitting there, get the streams up again, and then pack orders all night. That's been pretty easy going. After some minimum pricing, and yeah, I talked about like the setting of the minimum price to make sure you're not losing money in every order. You know, there's a bit of a balance there. I used to not have a minimum price, and those were the days where I was selling about 100 orders a day, which is substantial, you'd think, but about 30% of those orders, because a lot of people on the Magic side of things only buy one card at a time. Flesh and Blood people typically buy 3 cards minimum. And so knowing that, you can kind of adjust what your minimum prices are. So like my minimum prices for Magic are obviously higher than they are for Flesh and Blood. And that's because I know that a Flesh and Blood buyer is going to buy more and put me up over my 15-cent threshold almost every single time. And that's just one of those things you learned. But beforehand, I was just always going for TCG low. I was selling, you know, I'd sell a bunch of Magic cards for a penny, 2 pennies. Okay, well, and then I lose 12 cents off of my order already because of shipping. And then where am I, right? Then I spend 2 hours shipping out cards I'm losing money on. Basically just handing out free cards to everyone. Oh, these are the Frenchy ones. French. Oh, maybe I should double check through those. And you don't want to do that. Now, the plus side is that on top of, you know, yeah, I did end up sending out a bunch of free cards, about 30%. But my sales as a whole went up dramatically. Now, there's a balance there that you've got to figure out. And that's kind of what I've been doing, playing with different minimum prices for Magic, Flesh and Blood, MetaZoo, Pokemon. And you want to find that balance where, make sure you got no more foreign cards in here. You got to find that balance where you are going to lose some money, but you're also balancing that out with a lot of additional orders. And I might actually be tweaking down my Magic orders again. We'll see. We'll see. The Flesh and Blood current, well, it's new set month, right? So the week going up to a new set and the weeks after, sales are always going to be a bit crazier. I've actually kind of put all my Magic to the side to list more and more and more Flesh and Blood. I've got, you know, boxes of unlisted cards I've got to go through. No, not paying attention to the Cowboys. I kind of gave up on the Cowboys already, if I'm going to be completely honest. Those first couple games were pretty embarrassing. Though, I wouldn't put it past them to screw this up still. How much higher are they? And when I do my shipping video, I'm going to do some of the recording tonight after this stream, actually. Well, we'll see where the time goes, right? I gotta try and get off this, list my poisons of the wells. I've got to inventory all these into my personal inventory system, which is actually also pretty great. I do highly recommend collector's insurance. Depending on the state you're in, collector's insurance will not cover loose cards, but it will cover graded cards and sealed cards. So if you got a big sealed collection, if you have a bunch of graded cards, even if you have some very valuable cards around, and especially with Flesh and Blood, if it's like a hero, an equipment, something that doesn't have to get shuffled in, it's almost worth it to get it graded just to be able to insure it. And I mean, I personally don't insure anything less than $100. or not insure, sorry. I don't grade anything under $100 because you're going to be paying $25 to grade it. But typically grading is going to almost always double the triple it, depending on the quality of the card, obviously. But the ability to insure is great. I also have a lot of comics, like way too many comics probably. I'm actually picking up another big collection tomorrow. I'm very excited. Ooh, 7-3. Oh, 7-3 is not that big of a win, but I'll take it. But anyways, always insure. I'm in a bunch of comic book collecting Facebook groups, and boy is it sad to watch these guys like it's very common to have them show like they're like, oh, the house burned down, here's all my cards or all my comics, or you know, man, maybe these BCW ones aren't that great, but you know, house insurance only covers up to, I think it's $2,000 on collectibles. So you do actually have to get special collectibles insurance if you have more than $2,000 worth of insurable comics or cards. Not sure why I went off on that tangent, but you know, get your cards graded. if they're, you know, over $100, and document it. I document. Oh yeah, that's why. Because so part of my collecting, or like the reason I inventory everything, is even though these singles aren't going to be sent off to it, all my sealed, all my graded, and everything live in my inventory system as well. So I'm supposed to send it off every like 3 months. I need to get better about that. To my insurance agent to show changes in all my collections and evaluations, but my inventory system will give the pricing information and keep everything in one place. I just export it, send it over. Super convenient. So if you've got larger scales, and a lot of these inventory systems, especially for cards, this collector, they're free. I think where they make their money is you can like, there's a lot of features for tracking the pricing of your cards. So then if you if you see them go low, they just use affiliate links through like Card Kingdom, TCG Player. So they make a bit of money from that. And that's, that lets those apps run for free. So highly recommend it. And then the reason I like to do it with these type of vault cards that I talked about, like not just my collection, but like these. So like when I was told like, hey, did you ever pick up those Poison the Wells? They're up over $10 now. So I go into my inventory system. Then I search my collection and bam, there it goes. Oh, actually, I never even thought about the fact that they proxy them into the graveyard, but I don't know. I still recommend it. I'm a big fan of insurance. Outside of these last couple boxes, my pull rates and my luck generally not great. I'm like, I know, like as soon as I bought this house and put all my cards in it, I'm like, this whole place is gonna burn down any day. I don't know. It just in my head, it bothers me. If you want to have that like comfort, reduce some anxiety. I don't have a lot of faith. Well, actually, I lucked out with this house. A lot of the houses in this area, when I was looking, their electrical was a disaster. A lot of those houses are just waiting to burn down. And at the rate of how many sirens I hear, I have a feeling it happens more than most people would appreciate. There's so many hot boxes, like the joint boxes, or what are they called? Not the little fuse boxes. A lot of those were hot. We ended up going through redoing like half of the outlets, a bunch of the lights, redoing all. Oh, maybe it's just a junction box. Redoing all the junction boxes. But you never know what can happen. Yeah, I do. Actually, I'm gonna wait before I do these ones. I want to wait for the next 2 orders of Life of the Party to show up. Oh, actually, I shouldn't take, not 2, 4. I got 4 orders. I do think it's. I'm really trying to remember how many. I get because I had one cancellation, one of my big ones that had a bunch of Life of the Party, and then I actually just got a message right before I went live from another seller that was like, "Oh hey, I don't have Lives of the Parties that you wanted." So we're gonna see what actually shows up, but I should have. I mean, bare minimum, I'm gonna have. I know the one order alone is 110 more. So once I get the binders all fleshed out, yeah, I'll probably do a short of that. And hopefully they get more people to send me their Life of the Party and not people just buy them all up and then spike or ruin my ability to buy them. Because I mean, I've already kind of ruined it with this. Not that many people are watching this right now, but I'm putting it out there into the internet. I usually go through buying cycles. I'm not just constantly buying them. I'll usually buy them up until they all hit like $1, and then I'll just leave them alone for a couple months, and then they slowly drop back down to like 20, 30 cents. I go back in and buy them all up. A lot of the remaining ones, there's only like 1 or 2 pages available on TCG, and most of them are over $1. I mean, I could just buy them at $1, but I've had such good luck so far with getting them at like 20, 30, 40 cents that I kind of just want to keep riding that. Actually, I meant to see. Oh, no. Ooh, mouse. Where are you? There you are. How's the stream health thing? Okay, we're still doing pretty good. I did a bunch of changes 2 streams ago to help improve the consistency of the stream, lowered the bit rates a bit, locked the frame rates in. I'm only at 30 FPS, 60 is what it was at before. I don't think the duplicating frames matter too much when it comes to box openings or sorting. But maybe I am looking at a couple. I don't know. At this point, it's probably fine. I think just because I'm not doing too much else on my computer at the time. So streaming out to like YouTube, Twitch, Kick, it's fine. I did look into. They do have a thing called what's that? Restreamly, I think. And they let you stream one source out to a cloud service, and then they stream out to all of the other sites for you, which is convenient, but it is also kind of pricier than I want to, or way more than I want to spend, especially now that everything's kind of functional. Rather spend that money, invest into running some better scene framing, cutscenes, alerts, things like that. Especially as like the channel grows, I want to invest more into getting all that set up for everyone. Right now, really only Twitch is set up. The Twitch is my lowest viewer, like between Kick, YouTube, and Twitch. YouTube usually is the biggest, then Kick, surprisingly, and then off to Twitch. I just have to play with the tags and stuff to see if I can fix that up. But I had initially invested all my time into getting like BTTV, Franker Face, and like all the 7TV emotes and stuff set up, and all the alerting set up. Even the chat on the scenes are all Twitch. So I might swap all that over to YouTube. I'm gonna see how easy that is to do. I forgot what's Ludwig has an app that imports everything into YouTube. Is it like Truffle or something? I don't remember. I'll have to Google it after this. But I'll probably try and get that set up going for next week's streams. Probably not for tomorrow's. Got quite a night ahead of me still with other things. Not much longer. I wasn't too far off. I was thinking it was going to be another 40-50 minutes to finish these up. Still got about 30 left of the parties, but nothing too crazy. I'm just going to rotate these. I don't know why I keep trying to do from above. Okay. It's actually kind of why I like these. Well, I guess it's still the same issue. I don't know the direction, but in mindless work. This is very mindless. It's pretty zen. I used to just listen to audiobooks, depending on who's streaming at the time. Let's see, what time is it? It's 9. So this is Murder Crumpet o'clock usually for me. Oops. On nights that he's not streaming, got audiobooks going. Just kind of zen out. It's actually where this all started. When I really liked doing box openings, but I wasn't really into like the selling and the profitability. I just like to open boxes, and I was like, and it's not even as much the opening as much as I like the organizing, the sorting, the getting all my little binders, getting all my sleeves. I got way too into binders for a long time, trying to find the right binders that I would be happy with. Make sure that everything's protected. And if you think this is crazy, you should see all my old like video game, every cartridge, every like PS2 case. They all have got archival level protection on them at this point, but just the zen of organization here does not extend past these cards. I promise you that. My house is a disaster for the most part. Got a nice cleaning lady. She does what she can, but when it comes to my cards and my cardboard, very organized. Everything's labeled, everything's tidy. It's put away nicely. It's very relaxing, comforting, zen to get it all organized and put away. But that's why, that's how I started. I realized I didn't need to do the box openings to get that same feeling. I could just buy boxes in bulk off eBay or TCG Player. They're always a mixed bag, and that's where I get a lot of my vintage Magic. Actually, that's what I need. I really need to do is my backlog of Magic Vintage is probably like 7,000 or 8,000. It's I've been really lucking out on the collections I've been picking up, and when I refer to vintage, it's usually I do anything Onslaught, Block, and Prior. But I mean, gosh, I probably have the BCW 5-row box. I think I have one of those just of Onslaught, Block at this point, if not more. So maybe we'll do some older cards, because I really got to go through them to see. I think there were 3 sets I was working on completing. I think it was Invasion, Torment, and what was the other one? I think it was that whole block. What was the one? I can't remember what else is an Invasion block. I'm blanking out on it real hard. It was Torment, Invasion. Oh, that's gonna bother me. I don't know. But I of course had to make my very first full complete set. A set that is very near and dear to me. Unglued. Unglued was my very first completed set, all up in a binder. Then I think I went... What was my second one? I think Chronicles. I ended up doing Chronicles. Chronicles is not a very standard set. Obviously, it's a reprint set. It's got like all the different symbols on it, but I really like those older cards. And you know, at the time, in my price range, you know, the closest I was going to get to a lot of those older cards were those reprints. So I always appreciate that. But now, I mean, now I've got piles of the dark, and I don't know if I have very many Arabian Nights. I have a couple. Got a couple beta cards and stuff like that now, but it was all unheard of to old poor me. But those bulk boxes are just full of surprises. You wouldn't think you'd find half what you do, but especially with the fact that like the reserve list, especially those older cards where, you know, the sets aren't identified on them, and if they are, the rarity isn't. So it's really easy for reserve list cards to slip through, and I would say probably several pages of my binders of reserve list cards are from those bulk boxes. So if you ever just want to kind of, I used to call it like panning for gold, right? Like I really, at the time, I didn't really care about the rest of the cards. I didn't care about like the commons, the uncommons, the rares. I was looking for reserve list cards and vintage cards. But I ended up with all this bulk, and then by the time I came around to selling, I was like, well, gosh, this is convenient. And so, like, I had already sorted out all my uncommons, and by set, so listing all that became super quick. And lo and behold, I became a seller in no time. So if you ever get those itches, if you get those, you know, you look at, so like my bulk rates when I'm buying are about, they come out to like half a penny a card for rares, but a lot of the times when you're buying off eBay, they're unsorted bulk. They'll sell it at a premium of like a penny and a half, and that's kind of honestly what you'll end up getting. And it's usually unsellable or for them, which is why it ends up on eBay bulk. A lot of it's like lightly played, moderately, but you know, if you want something cheap, you can spend like $40 on a box of $40 will usually get you a medium flat rate ship box, just packed to the gills. Medium ship rate box will get you about 4,000 cards. The large will get you about 7,000. So just depending on how much time, how much space. It is very space intensive. I will say that. I've got, like, this is a little 4-foot table. I got this just for this, but I've got like 6 and 10-foot tables all around the house, just loaded with cards. It is, it's a good thing I live alone. That's all I gotta say about that. And I don't get many visitors, and when visitors come over, they're just like looking at all my cards everywhere. But I do need to consolidate them down. I have a whole floor. My whole attic is finished. It's actually really gorgeous up there. And it is all comic books and cards, just like racks and racks. And video game, old vintage video games I got up there too. I need to start moving stuff up there. I actually I ended up doing the source stuff over the quote unquote the library, because I've got like 9 bookshelves of books over there, manga and stuff and graphic novels. But just because of the heat up there was ridiculous. It's the only room in the whole house without AC. So I did end up buying one about a month and a half, 2 months ago. I did plan on moving my whole shipping enterprise up there. The printers and stuff already got moved up, but I never ended up moving everything else, and mainly because the shelves, I had to make these shelves, cheap Walmart shelves, but once you actually got them together, they're super sturdy. But they hold all of my my big BCW like 5-row boxes, and those boxes, I don't know, it'll be a nightmare to move those up. But I've got a friend who's probably going to spend the winter with me, and that is going to have to be his bedroom. So not only is that whole shipping station going to have to move up there pretty quick, my poor guinea pigs are not going to have their own bedroom anymore. I think they're going to have to go upstairs. He's going to bring his dog, cute little chihuahua, but yeah, I'm going to make sure he's got plenty of space, whole room to himself. I mean, it was originally supposed to be a guest bedroom, so might as well use it for what it's intended. And then, I don't know, I'm going to have to really revamp the whole attic again. Maybe that'll be a tour or something, a stream at some point, once it's all done up there. Right now, it's kind of a disaster. It was actually so hot up there in the summer that you couldn't even make it up the steps. You would almost... There were several times where I almost blacked out from just like the heat hitting my face, and I was like, oh geez, like easily probably 110 degrees up there. It was insane. But now I got the AC in there, just a little window thing, because I mean the room itself seems very large, but the roof cuts off, right? Think of it like an old Concord style house. Or a Cape Cod. It was a Cape Cod style house, where it's not a lot of high space, a lot of angles. The roof, you know, obviously is right there. So the actual area of the room, despite the large dimensions being like the size of my whole house, they're actually cut it in half, right? So square footage wise, I didn't need like a big crazy AC. Just a little guy. I think a little 6,000 BTU ended up doing the whole attic, which was really nice. So it's now livable. I also have, I don't know if I'll ever do comics on here. I've got so many comics to sort out. Like I still have, my comic collection is massive. I have a tendency to pick up a lot of collections. I usually just pick out what I like, and then I've got several boxes set aside to sell on eBay. I do have a lot of lots. If you check on my website up here at cardboardkings.shop. Ooh, I got a little wound there. I cut myself on a tuna can. But that also links to my eBay store, where I sell comic book lots. I have to make a bunch of lots. I've got like 2 long boxes full of comics I need to list. Just haven't had the time recently. Obviously with the cards side of things picking up, but as card things die down, I usually try and split it between comic books and just listing more as a whole. Last card. Wow, that was good timing. I only had a couple more side loaders here. Alright, so probably gonna wrap this up. Like I said, I've got a busy night ahead of me. So we did the day in recap. I've got full puzzle pieces. I've actually got to get all those puzzles into binders. I guess that it is pretty convenient 3x3 because of that. I got to figure out how there's going to be selling. I got to work with the catalog team at TCG to figure out selling the rest of those puzzle pieces. There's gonna have to be some sort of scheme. Right now the tokens are a total disaster. For Rosetta, everything is only like one face. Everything's mislabeled, everything's not set in correctly, so gonna have to take care of that at some point, so that I can better list my cards. But so yeah, we did the puzzles. I did get all 2 cases. So I think it's probably pretty safe to say if you get 2 cases is probably enough to get you all the full puzzles. Let's see, I got a bunch of my Alpha Edition Crucible packed up. I got all my promos here ready for my little vault, as well as all of my Majestics. I'll get these inventoried with my promos here. all my ladies here, the life of the parties. I will probably do, let's see, I'll probably do another one of these streams once all my next orders come in, because they should be pretty substantial. And then I'll probably do either a short or a video about life of the party. I'm currently working on a video. I'm not sure when it's going to come out, but I'm doing all the maths for it currently in the spreadsheets to work out the pricing per card that you're shipping, and then I'll be doing recordings of how I actually package all my different cards depending on how many there are. So expect a video out probably, I bet you it's gonna be like 2 weeks from now. It's been a while since I used DaVinci Resolve, and even when I did use it, I was garbage at it. I've got some video editing friends. I'll probably try and get some help with that. But I am trying to get the shipping video out. I might cut this up into some shorts, when we're talking about the stamps, talking about the TCG updated policies. I'll try to make those into some videos. I'd like to get some more eyes on things from there. The VODs do seem to pick up some traffic, so we'll see. Hopefully this one does as well. I'll have to work on some thumbnails, but I'll get all this in my inventory. Keep your eyes on the YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Kick friends, like, follow. Same with Twitch. And thank you all for tuning in today. And come by again tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a treat. Meeting me and my friend Andrew. We'll be talking all things Rosetta. So hopefully I didn't burn through, well, I definitely didn't burn through all my Rosetta stuff. I got a ton to talk about Rosetta on the sales thing. I got a bit of research I got to do, compile my list of topics. But we will be around tomorrow, 7 p.m. EST. Check the socials. Everything's already set up for tomorrow, and I will see you all then. So thanks again, and have a great day.